Today we study the design behind Linelith, a short puzzle game designed by Patrick Traynor. He's currently designing levels for the Order of the Sinking Star and is also known for Patrick's Parabox. Therefore, Linelith comes recommended by Jonathan Blow. But that is not the only reason why I wanted to give it a go. Apparently, we will solve 100 puzzles in just 1 hour. How does that work? At the end of this video, I'll reflect and share my thoughts on what worked well and what I think could have been improved. I'm Noël, a game designer and programmer. Welcome to my study, where we are exploring thoughtful games made by fellow developers. I then take those lessons and bring them over to my other channel, where I develop games myself. Save file number 1. Okay, we're thrown right in. There is no such thing as a cutscene or anything. It's a pretty short game, so that's not too surprising. Okay, so we're it's interesting how he put us right in the center of this square, so we really only have to walk north. Although then we're stuck, so we have to go right, north, left. He doesn't ever require us to go down so far. Now I can draw a line here. 1 out of 132. Is that 132 puzzles? But why do I need to do that? Why can't I just pass by? So we just draw lines like that, several different lines. Now here we have to do a bit of a... how do we do this? That works, but then it just kills off the top ones. Why? Why did I not need to fill these two out? So can I just do this? I can do that, so I don't have to fill all squares. I really just have to only... Can I start anywhere? Can I just do this? No, I have to start from like an edge place for some reason. Okay, but can I do this? No, I have to end on an edge as well. Okay. And then this is gonna fail, because we have a dot here, which we might need to pass once. Yeah, exactly, it turns green, alright. I wonder if... So these turn red and green right now. I wonder if they don't get the color anymore, red or green, later once the tutorial is over. Which would be similar to the Witness, right? Because in the Witness there are special levels that kind of give you a hint on where you made mistakes, but then later there's no more hints. So we'll see... Oh, look at that. We can kind of start... Why can we start here? That's sweet. We can start outside of the shape somehow, but only if we are standing there. Okay, that's really weird. Alright, 1, 2... that's a problem. Okay, like this. And then here we need 3. What about this? Okay, so the dots just mark a corner. And that corner needs to be touched 3 times. And then this one 4 times. Okay. Simple. We're making quite some progress there at the bottom left. We've already got almost 10% of the game, it seems. Crazy. Why do we even solve these, though? Do we just solve them for the fun of it, to understand? Or... Oh, that's only 3. Okay. That's relatively simple. Okay, just kind of need to fiddle your way around. Then only 1 here. Okay, now it's getting a bit trickier. We have to think about how we do this. We might want to go up here without touching too much. Okay, let's do this one next. Why can we... Like, we're a little rock on legs, it seems. So here we... I know we touch 2 like that. And then here as well. We need to make sure the whole puzzle is in view, otherwise we probably can't solve it. Now here... we just kind of zigzag our way around. What are we doing here? We have to make sure we touch all sides of this. But it doesn't really matter where we end. I can do it again, nice. So I could also end here. That's weird though, there's so many solutions to these. I would expect that there are not that many different solutions. It seems like this is more of just like a little bit of almost a cozy game so far. Just kind of draw your lines any way you want. There's like subtle rules you have to make sure you're satisfying, but otherwise... Like, I don't really have to think about what I'm doing, I'm just drawing lines. Now, what is this? What's the point of solving these? This is like... not even tricky. Oh, it's the rule here, I can't end down here, probably. That's what he wants to teach me here. But that's really kind of obvious, and here as well. Oh, we have lines here now. Okay, here we have to think about it. That looks kind of like a face with a mouth and two eyes. So we want to cross all four here, but only one here, and then three here, and only two here, like that. And then we end it there. I'm sure there is multiple solutions. Okay, what do we have here? Just touch one. That's tricky. We can't start here at the bottom because we wouldn't be able to escape now without adding a second to that. So we either have to start here or here. So that we can do something like this. Okay, here we have to touch all four, which automatically also touches that one. So in fact, we have to touch these four, but not these three. So let's see if we can do that. Very simple. Here, all four. Here, we probably want to pass through the edge here, which gives us one, and then return through the other edge. So we could try something like this. Okay. What about this one? We have a bunch of ones, which we can only touch like as from a tangent. So the thing is, if we start here, these are almost symmetric, right? Doesn't matter whether we start here or here, we're always going to end up with one here. So we have to go north, which satisfies that one, so we can't use these three anymore. Which means we have to go here. And then from this side, we can't really touch that one. Well, I guess we could go like this. Yeah, let's do that. And then here out as we came in. Alright. I think I missed a few, like, spaces at the bottom left. Let's have a look quickly. There's a rock here. The heck? You can turn the thing next to you into a path somehow. Can we drop down here? No, we can't drop into space. What about this one here? That's weird. That's as if we should be able to get in here. Can we go in? Oh, look. Oh, what the heck? What the heck we can draw here? But only if it's next to us for some reason. That's strange. And also only like between us. No, I don't get it. Why can I draw here but not here? Strange. Okay, we probably just... Okay, we just wiggle our way. Then maybe same here. Kind of wiggle our way through. Really not difficult so far at all. It's a bit too simple for my taste for now. Don't know what this is. So strange. Okay. I wonder why this is like embedded in rock. It's really strange. Okay, here the upper part is tricky, so we have to touch all of these four, which touches these two automatically. So maybe... like this. Ah, this one failed. Okay. Then here... The tree difficulty will be up here. We either go through like this, or we cut a corner like that. Not sure why it would be difficult. I made the same shape almost here. Like it's almost mirrored. I wonder if that's gonna matter. Oh, look at that. How the heck? You don't get that yet. And I can't go up there. Maybe I can solve that one on the left here, yeah. Can we somehow get into the rock? No, we cannot. Okay, pretty simple. This part I don't get. Ah, we have to... For some reason we need to have a space between us and the rock, and then we can start. But where do we end? That's really weird. We can't just end in the middle. So where do we end? Do I have to... Ah, I can only start at the beginning part. It has to be an opening... this is how I can start here. I get it, okay. Oh, but we could put... Yeah, okay. Now I see it. If we move ourselves next to this, we get an end point. Go back. Okay, but I have to move myself like to here or something. Okay. So if we put ourselves here, we can get a bridge so that we can do this theoretically. So like that. But we need to be over here. Nah, that's not good. Wait. I can't move while I'm on here. No. I thought maybe I can move. Because now I'm screwed. I have to come in from... Probably here. Yeah, okay. That's cool. We can extend the puzzle with ourselves. Does that mean if I stand next to here, I can just solve it like that? I can. But what's the point? What's the point is the question. Ah, look, we can also solve that one. Wait. Because this is a puzzle in a puzzle. So is this. Interesting. Let's go back and solve these. How many of those did we see? And there's also this green. This might also be something. Once we get to control over green. See how it has an endpoint up here? It's almost like the witness in a way. With the start and end points. Just a bit different. Same here again. But I don't think there were any rocks at the bottom, right? That's really strange here. Oh! Oh, we can solve the universe. What the heck? We can solve the universe. Do you see how we solved this entire area? We can probably save everything, including these blue areas. Yeah, I mean, we already verified that we can solve blue. We can start here. We just need to find an endpoint, for example, here. Nice, that is cool. That is really cool. We can solve this in here. As well as this. And these. Do these count as puzzles or no? Where's the end point, by the way? We have a start point here. I can probably make an endpoint. Watch me, look. Yeah, okay. Did that count as a puzzle? I kind of didn't check properly. And then we can, if we can get that all into one... Yeah, perfect, see? We can solve this entire area now. And all of these count as a puzzle. Nice! That is cool, though. That is the coolest thing so far in this game, for sure. Seems like a bit of the meta level. Now the question is, how do we solve the green here? It's a long green. How would I do that? Because I'm gonna have to... Ah, when you unsolve it, it takes one away from... Ah, we can solve it here. Okay, I see. And then that solves everything here. Nice. Yeah, good progress so far. I'm not sure if we're already meant to understand that, but it's definitely cool. I don't understand how we solve ourselves. Does that... That doesn't give us a puzzle. Interestingly. Okay, solving space is... Oh no, I screwed up. I have to go back quickly. Screwed up. Okay. You can't diagonal move in the game, so if I mean like zigzag diagonal. If I press 2 directional keys, it doesn't go diagonal. That's a bit of... Yeah, it's not too bad, but it's something I would definitely implement if I create a grid game. Well, which I am, but... And then here we can just... Ah, no, we can't do that because we need to... Uh-huh. How does that work? How the heck does that work? I think I need to go in first, otherwise I can't end it, and then... Ah, I can end it on myself. I can end it on myself somehow, wait. But how? I have to do that. Okay, I have to go around and then end it on myself like that. Okay, cool. This one I don't know how to solve. Then here space we can solve by just going around here. Nice. And then in the end we have to see... I'm not sure if I like that counter at the bottom because it kind of tells us when we're done. Then here we can create a fake exit for blue. It's kind of a lot of solutions to make those puzzles, probably. Can I can create a solution here. And then here we can probably do that. Nice. Why does that not work? Okay, that doesn't count for some reason. Okay, let's solve some of these regular ones first. Here we can get out. The problem is we can't enter here and exit here because this is a triple. How do we do that? How do we get in here If we get in here, we can't get out anymore. And if we get in here, we can't get out anymore either. So how do we do that? Then we also have to get over here. Isn't that strange? How will we do that? Because if we go in here, we block ourselves from getting out. Same here. That's also interesting here. Oh, that solves itself. Did that solve itself? It did, right? Yeah, that's interesting. But why doesn't that other black block there solve itself? That's really weird. Maybe we need to solve these two individually? Oh. What? Because this part up here is not solved now. Ah, but if I move in here, I automatically connect these two puzzles, so this becomes one. So if I start it again, it kills both of them. Ah, shoot. Here we can solve the blue one, by the way. And here we can solve the black one. I might be able to do it this way, where I'm solving this left one, and now because I've disconnected it from the main one, when I restart here, it doesn't kill this one. I'll probably have to start down here. How would I do that? I think I might have to come down here. Maybe I have to step to the right. Did I just undo this again? That's annoying that you constantly undo the puzzles. But why does that not count? That doesn't count? Why? Did I already solve it? I think I might have to stand here. Because that lets us do the same thing again here. And then these are all solved. Okay, good. Nice. What about here? Don't understand. Okay, let's see. So here, because we have two in the bottom, we probably have to finish like this. Yeah. Because if we can only get two visits here if we step right there. And then here we probably have to finish here. That's a problem. No, here we can actually do two visits, but with three visits we have to be able to exit. We have to be able to exit here, otherwise it doesn't work. Alright. What do we have here? 4, 4, 4. How does that... Then we need to exit here. Alright. Now this I didn't get at all. How the heck does that work? And can I not just do this? This... Can I not just do this? Why does this not count? Weird. Oh, maybe if we step in here, wait. Oh, now we don't have a starting point. Okay. Nice. This corner was the key. Now, how do we solve... because... Okay, we can only solve the blue because it has this requirement here. So I think we might need to do this. I see. We had to be exactly in this bottom. That's because this white thing... Yeah, okay, because it's on this corner which the blue thing is adjacent to. Alright. This one we can just solve like... Oh, we can... This one we can move. Oh, now we can make our own exit and our own entrance. Okay, strange. Here we have to go around the corner. Then here we have to go all around. Okay. Oh, we can also pull. Okay, that's so we can't get stuck, because otherwise we could push the rock into a corner and not get it out anymore. So, okay, these are just different variations of the same thing. That should be relatively simple. Ah, because we connect this again, which is a problem. So we come here. Ah, because I'm pulling this. Ah, that's annoying. Can do this. And then get out here. Okay. Nice. Alright, what do we have here? I think what's kind of weird is that you can create... Like, it's cool that you can create your own little endings and start points, but that also gives it away super early. Like, I noticed this so early on. I'm not sure if that's so good. Okay, I don't know where the end's supposed to be. Maybe here. So we can do 4, 3, 1. I don't know, I just kind of see these solutions. I don't know. Like, if you've played the game, let me know if you also found this to be that simple. It's a bit too simple for my taste. Here we probably just want to end like this. And then here we might want to end like this. Ah, I want to be on the other side. I want to be over here. Okay. Then we can do this. We can pass and we can get the 1. Oops, like that. Okay. We've already solved that one. Can we see anything in space here? Not really. So I think this part is mostly solved. Now the question is if I need to take my body with me. How would I do that? I could push it. Then it's kind of stuck here, which might not be optimal. I don't want to really pull it. Let's leave it here for a moment. I don't think we can get it around the corner like that. Okay, solved. We can solve that one. And then we can also solve that one. Very easy. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. We have a triple here, so we'll have to step into here. There's so much to solve in here. Here we can just kind of do that. And here we can maybe just... Probably have to create our own endpoint for the purple area. We have several problems here. Maybe we create a start point here. Then we visit this from 3 sides, and then we end. Ah, it has more. More up here. That means we create our own starting point. Ah, we can only go through here once. Okay, in that case, I'm creating my own starting point here, and I'm too high up. That's tricky. So we can see the entire level now, but I can only enter or exit here once. Right? Yeah. So how do I get out again? Oh, or I need to make the end up there. Yeah, I can also make the end up here, probably. Alright, and then the start... where do we make the start? Maybe here. No, it's not good enough. Where could I make a starting point? While still having the whole... Ah, this is the start. But then where's the end? I can also only go in here once. I can only go in here once, and then I need to end in here. So the end has to be in here if the start's here. I don't see how that works right now. Aha, I have many starting points here. I only just saw this. I can make an end with only just one of those. And the other one I can then use to make an end down here. Okay, no, wait. If I start here, I can... that doesn't work. I need to start maybe here. And then I need to end here at the bottom. Okay, so we do this, basically. Okay, so I can start here now. I satisfy the triple down here. And then I just kind of make my way into the end. Nice. Alright, so what about this one? I'm gonna have to get one start here at the bottom to satisfy that double. And then same up here, that's gonna be the end. So we'll start here. Ah. It has to be down one, otherwise we have too many, okay. So if we have to go around the corner, we already have 3, but like this we only have 2. So 1, 2, and we touch that one. And this is a bit tricky. How do we only touch these once? Maybe I need to act as a... with one block, the problem is you can't... no, I understand. I was about to say, with one block I can't go in and out again, but if I do this, then I can basically just not use this as an exit, but come back. Although, where is my exit then? Dang it. I have an exit up here. Nah, that doesn't work. No, it does work. If we remove that one, we can just exit like that, basically. But we can use that one to build a little bridge here, so we can come in, touch... Wait, how are we gonna do that? I'm gonna come in, touch... But then I already touched it twice. The bottom one. I don't even need... I don't even need that one either. What was I thinking? I need to do a triple here. Because with a triple, I can come in here, touch it once, and then come out of here. Okay, I see. Basically like that. Then we touch, and we touch. Touch, and then exit. Nice. Now here, we need an exit. Problem is we need to touch that 3 times, so we definitely need one here. Maybe a block like that, so we can touch it 3 times, and then we want to still exit. So maybe we put one here. Okay. Okay. It's a bit of a problem. I need both rocks. I need to push both rocks in. Because if I push one rock in here, I will always pull it back out. But if I push 2 in, then I can probably step out sideways. Yeah, like that. Nice. Here we need to double, 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 double. And then the same from the outside. If we go in here and then just pass by... This is the exit here. We can only go... If we go in here, we have to go out this way. And then we block ourselves off from the exit. So we might want to go up. But then we also block ourselves up from the exit. I can maybe, if I go around like that, then turn around. Yeah, I see, okay. This turn here was important. Did I already solve that one? I think I did. Okay, we've solved 80 out of 132. It's a bit hard to see what exactly I have solved. And it's also weird to understand where I can walk on and where not. Like, why can I walk on blue but not on black? It's a bit strange. There's a problem. I don't think I want to do it like that. I think I might want to... I might want to bypass these two completely and then grab them on the way back. But the lower one I need to grab when coming. Shoot. Maybe. That's interesting. How are we going to do that? Maybe I don't want to grab that one either. So that I can do it like that. Okay. That was a really good one. That was my favorite one so far. Aside from the meta level, which is really good. That was a really good one. That way you had to avoid the dots. Easy to solve. Same one again, it seems. Touch that, then touch these two. Okay, it's slightly offset, which is what makes this one tricky. Then we have up here only 2. Then here 3, 3. Here you want 4. That's not gonna work. The thing is that I can start anywhere, right? These are a bit tricky. I could theoretically start here. This one is the tricky one, because you can only touch it from one side. So you can't go through the top. So you have to touch either one of these two. And if you go from down here, then you can't make it to the right anymore. So you basically have to touch it like that. But then how do you make it past these two? Like that. Now what? Okay, like that. That was a good one too. I liked it. Like the way it has some extra complexity, so they could have just added these two start and end points, but that would make it too obvious, right? So he added these unnecessary complexities to obfuscate the solution, but it's not obfuscating it in a bad way. It's actually doing it in a really good way here. That's a good one. They're getting better now. Now the good puzzles start, it seems. The thing here is that we can make an extra endpoint because it might not be solvable from the top ones. That's what I would expect. Because it's suspicious that this is stone, right? Every time it's stone, it's very suspicious. Otherwise, if we wouldn't have to interact with it, it wouldn't have to be stone. The problem is
You can't ever get out here from that one because there's a 1 here. But I might be able to do it like that. Yeah, okay. Okay, there's a bunch more coming here. What do we have here? A triple and a 2. So we can go once through the bottom and then we can go... Ah, that's the tricky part because we also have to get through the top, but that brings us back around. So if I do this, that just brings me back to the left, but I need to go to the right. So how can we do both? Can I somehow twist around that I don't have to go to the other side here? Don't see how. Why is there extra space up here? Aha, because we only have to touch it once here from twice from this side. Okay, nice. That was really good as well. I liked it. They're definitely getting way better. Okay, simple. Okay. Two and 2. Each of these counts as a level, really, honestly, wow. Okay. This one we can also finish up. Then this one, here we'll have to, can actually get this out as well. Then we don't have an end point. We can do it like that. Ah, the problem is we need to be able to get out again, so maybe like that. Nah, I see we're blocking off our exit. Ah, I can get myself out. Okay, I can get myself out. Good. That gives me just enough space to do this. Okay, so here the problem is that we don't have an end point. I need a... Can I get a rock somewhere? Well, not from here. Can't really get a rock from anywhere, to be honest. Oh, we have one here. More requirements. Where are the requirements? Here is a requirement. Oh, that's tricky. So we need to pass by here and pass by here at the bottom. So we could go around here, I guess. And then end here. Okay. Solve 100 puzzles achievement. Do that one. Can also do that one. I know this has a 2x2. Okay, simple. Alright, what do we have here? We need a corner. What about here? Easy. These are quite easy sometimes. Here we have a start and an end, but the problem might be... we'll see. How do I get past here? I probably need a rock to the side. So I can touch that one once, so we only need to touch it once more. Which means we can probably come by like this. Nice. And this can also be solved. Some of these are a bit too simple here. I don't know, these... I don't know if these need to be solvable, really. What do we do here? That's an easy one. That should be a... easy one. Nice. What do we have here? I've kind of skipped a few, so we might have to go back, right? That's the problem here. We end on the wrong side. So what if we... Yeah, that doesn't really work. How are we gonna do this? Ah, there's a 1 there as well. There's a 1 here on the side. Yeah, I didn't see that one. How's that work? Because you can't, if you go straight down, you can't cross over to the left unless you leave, and then you cross back in. Maybe we need to do a smart move here. Nah, don't see it, huh? Tricky one. How the heck does that work? We have to at least go 2. No, we can go 1 and then out. Then how do we get that one back? We never get that one back. Let's come back to that one. That one has me stumped for a second. I do have a few more that I kind of skipped over here. And here we need to create our own exit. Which means we have to end here because that's the only one with 3. Otherwise it doesn't work. But of course here, slight mistake. Okay. Good, good, good. Here, we probably have to do something like this, so we have our own start and end. And we have 2 1s, and we have a triple here, which might mean that we need to... we might need to do this. Yeah, nice. Okay. This is how we do that one. You basically... I have to do it at the bottom or something. I probably have to do it here. Nah, I might have to do it at the very top. And then we can go around, over the top, and back into here. Okay, cool. Nice. Then here we probably have to create our own exit and entrance. Maybe like that. That's simple. And here, okay, here we have a problem that we have a lot of quarters. And the problem is, as soon as you do that, you can't satisfy these anymore. Do we have, like, not 4 anywhere? No, they're all 4. How's that gonna work? We have to build an X in the middle. Or something like an X, wait. Yeah, like that. Look, wait. No, I just saw it. Yeah, like that. Okay. Because then we have a start and an end. Ugh, it's annoying. Okay, like that. So we can start here and basically just wiggle our way around. Dip, 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 dip. And then end. Shoot, can't end here. I need more space. Ugh, that's annoying. Okay, maybe like that. That's a bit annoying, but I think it's doable. Alright. Did we do all of them now here? I think so. Nice. There's about 17 levels left. We haven't done that one. This brings us to the beginning, right? I wonder what that's for. Oh, we can pull this out. I know I can make a shortcut back to the start. This is a Dark Souls backtracking thing. Okay, here we have the problem that we have to end here. So we have to start here and we have to end here. So these rocks are just obfuscating our path, really, it seems. What if we just go out of the way? Oh, I have to get out of the way completely. Like that. Yeah, okay. Same rule again, where we have to get out of the map first. Now this one really has me stumped here. I don't get this one. Maybe we'll come back to that one. What do we have here? Okay, so we have to probably form a bridge here so that we can go in. But we need a second rock here. So now we can go in here. We can touch this one only once. And then we want to go out again probably, so we need a third rock. So we can come in here, immediately go out again. And then we want to do the same here. But where's the exit going to be? We don't even have a... Ah, I can do this. Shoot, right. We have to do an interesting little maneuver here. That's too far. Oh, dang, this is annoying. Yeah, the last one we can always pull out. Like that, basically. Then we can use that as a starting point. So we could start here now. But then we need to go north. That's the same thing. It has something to do about how we push these guys. That's the thing, I want them here, but how do I get out without pulling that one out again? Ah, because I need that one. I need to have that one as well, then it probably works. Yeah, because I pull them back out. Okay, I see. So now we should be able to do this. Nice, okay. Yeah, still some interesting new elements here with the way we have to, like, push and pull these. That's definitely cool. This one's simple. Was this one meant to give it away, like how this works? This could be the end. Is this supposed to give us... Then we can solve the universe here. Oh, shoot. What the heck is this? touch it once. No, wait, this is different. We have to touch this once. Okay. Then here once. Okay, we need to come in clean first. Then we can touch, oops. Then we can touch that one once. And here we come in clean. That's probably wrong. The problem is we need to get into here. Okay, nice. That solves the universe. Comprehend outer space. Okay, that's probably the big final achievement. But we still have some more puzzles to solve. And we didn't solve this one, I think. 10 more. Maybe just that one. Sec. 9 puzzles more. What do we have here? Can only touch that one once. Same goes for that one and that one. That's a problem. Okay, that was relatively simple. Now here, we can start here and just cross through. Can we push these in space? No. So the problem is we can start here and we can end here, but we can't pass through this one here. In fact, this one, we have to come from the right and pick it up like that. So basically like that. Mistake. Like that, and then we come up here. And we need to make a bridge here. Okay, that's not too difficult. Like that. So we come, we grab the one, we go through the bridge and enter. Okay. Fairly simplistic. However, we can still solve this one here. So here we have these ones here again that we need to make sure we're not screwing up. How are we gonna do that? Maybe like that, so we can come out here. Then we need to go down. Yeah, we can probably put more of these rocks to the left that we don't need, like that. So we can come in here. Almost. I think like that, maybe. Perfect. Nice. 6 more. Did I solve that one? Yes. It's really hard to see. Here we have another one. Like, this gray is really hard to differentiate from this black, I feel like. Yeah, here we have a problem. I might need to first do the top. Yeah. That solves that one. Now we still have that one here. That's really giving me a bit of a headache here. How do we do this? This might be the hardest one. Or I just don't get it. That's the naive solution, it doesn't work. Maybe I need to do 2 loops. Like that. Then go in. Problem is I can't ever get out of this. What if we go in for the second one? Nah, but then I wouldn't ever be able to loop out of this again. Unless I leave enough. And then we could get out. Okay, but we need to make sure. Okay, we do have to do a special loop-de-loop. The question is, where are we going to do that? Not here. We're doing it here. No, we need to do it here. Or here. No, wait. Here. Or even higher. Wait, this is slightly to the north. This is not symmetric. Because we have 4, 6, 8, we have 9 rows. So it matters whether we start at the top or the bottom. What if we do the same maneuver here? I can't do that. What if we go in instantly? Grab this. Then come... Wait, one higher. And we grab this. Nah, this is not right. That's a tricky one. What the heck? That's so strange. I don't get it. I don't get it. We have to do some loop, but still pick up this one somehow. How would we do that? This one so far almost looked like the most promising approach. But then how do I get out? What if I do it here? Nah, we could try it here. Then get out. But then it's just barely not enough. We would need to be one lower to get this working. One more. Same here. We actually have even less space here. How the heck does that work? There's some very specific, some oddly specific configuration you need to do. I just don't see it right now. What if we do the same thing? I could go through here now and then I can get out. Oh my god. Okay. I think this might be one of the only, if not the... This is a good puzzle because there is only really this one solution. And you had to see it, what it was. So we have, how many? 4 left. Where are the 4 that are left? Let's double check the top again. This is done. This is done. You have the very top with space. That's all done. I don't know why our monolith has legs, but we'll give it that. Okay, here we're done. There isn't really anything else. Seems to be solved. Space here seems to be solved too. This all seems to be solved. Oh, here. And this one as well. Ah, look at that. A few more missing. How does that work? How does that work? How do I get 2 ends here? I don't get it. Ah, like that. Okay. That was a good one, because you didn't even have to enter the puzzle. You could just solve it from the outside. Nice. I think otherwise we're good here. Ah, there's a bottom one here. Where you want to pass that once, but that twice. That one twice. Maybe we only want to pass the first one like that. Yeah, okay. Nice. There's one more puzzle somewhere that I missed, seemingly. Where is that? It's not that one, right? That's a shortcut again. To this bottom area, to the beginning part of the game. Which we will look at in a sec. There's 2 shortcuts in total, it seems. This looks solved. Where is that one puzzle? This looks kind of black, no? Yeah, this looks kind of black. Okay, wait. We can maybe see it from here. Congratulations! Thank you for playing! Nice! Every last one, solve all puzzles! That was a refreshing little game. I think the beginning was way too simple. Especially with these very, very simple puzzles. Where are they? Like, I don't know why we had so many of these very simple ones. It's a bit too much, but I would have liked more of the difficult ones. Otherwise, this was really enjoyable. And it also kind of gave the solution away a bit too early, like the way you can click here. Because it's a start, I guess. Yeah, what I noticed about these rocks is that my rock here has almost like rounded edges, right? Whereas the stationary ones have their edges filled with black. So there's a difference whether a rock is mobile like mine or whether it's part of a puzzle. And you can only solve the ones that are stationary and cannot be moved, so that's a bit weird. And since this one doesn't have the edges filled, this is also a mobile rock. That's why we can move it around, right? That's why when we solve these two, it seems like that doesn't count towards the puzzles because this is not a stationary puzzle, so you can only actually solve stationary puzzles. Now the question here is, why can we even attempt to solve it if it's not a puzzle? Maybe there could be a rule that in order to draw a line, your thing has to be connected to at least one stationary rock. Just like up here where we have this one stationary rock and ourselves. And we can solve it like that, right? And then also just when you solve these two, the way they make a sound as if you actually solved something, even though the game doesn't actually tell you that this is a puzzle. But then it doesn't count as a puzzle, is a bit weird. But that kind of gives it away a bit early. And then the reason why I was able to start in the beginning from here is because that's the start, of course. Oh, I just screwed it up again. Oops. I think this could be a bit longer. If you add some more mechanics, I think you need to add a new layer at this point. Yeah, the question is, can you even do that? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that easy to add more layers. Maybe if you could transition from one puzzle to the other to draw lines across puzzles. Like, not just in the same color, but across colors, that would be good as well. But you would probably need some new object or something, I don't know. See, if you introduce a new object, it kind of defeats the purpose, but... Or like the ability to place something like a mirror, and then when you go, so you can place a mirror here, for example, and then if you go to a different place on the map, you could look into that mirror and it projects that level onto here. So you could like take parts of a map and move them somewhere else without actually moving them, and that helps you then solve them or something like that. And then some of these puzzles really just don't have very much of a point. Like, I don't know what the interest is in solving that one. So I think these just inherently
came into existence, because when you build a level around it, you automatically create this negative space, and that forms a puzzle, right? But maybe not all of these are interesting, and I thought about how that could be solved, and my first idea was, although I don't think it's a good one, to have one type of block that's not solvable, like let's say a black, really hard rock or something, and then you just can't draw on it, but that introduces like a new type of block that's not solvable. I think the game's really cool because everything can be solved. Another idea that I had that I actually like better is where we usually have these dots here, right, that say how many times we have to cross it or touch it. We could have a new type of this dot that's more maybe like an X or something. And then if you put an X maybe up here in the corner, for example, or here in the corner, that would say you're not allowed to touch this corner. So in fact, this one would not be solvable at all, this inner space, because there's an X here which you always would touch. So it might look like a puzzle and you would initially even try to solve it, but the rule would not allow you to solve it. Therefore, this is actually a non-puzzle, but you first have to come to that realization that it's not solvable. So you could turn some of these spaces into non-puzzles, but the puzzle would be to figure out whether they are a puzzle or not. It's not an impossible puzzle. It's not like handing the player a puzzle and then the player tries it for hours and then gets frustrated, because the idea would be to have the realization whether it's possible or not. And you could employ that for quite a few of these, because these are just not very interesting. And in terms of progression, because we have that counter, these are valued the same as any of the harder puzzles, which kind of de-evaluates the harder puzzles, right? So especially these simpler ones, we could probably nullify. I initially figured out that the blue ones is solvable because I trapped this starting point here because of the way this layout works. So maybe especially here in the beginning, I would have made this space at least 2 columns wider, so that this wouldn't end up being a starting point. If you imagine there being an additional blue row here, this wouldn't be a starting point, right? So it would be way more unlikely for me to find this. I guess I could still do this and find it here, but at least this scenario or this scenario here, no, I guess this would still work, but this one wouldn't work. So it would be a bit less likely to be found, at least. And what you might have also noticed is how colors here are used to divide this lower blue part from this upper blue part, right? So when you solve the lower blue part, the upper one doesn't get solved automatically. That's why this purple comes in. But it doesn't really matter whether the purple only reaches this wall or whether the purple kind of extends down here. Like, the details of how these shapes are organized doesn't actually matter that much. And I think there is an extra layer of depth that could be added. For example, if we would, let's imagine we solved this. Like, it doesn't actually matter where we draw this line as well, right? We could draw this line like this. We could draw it like this. None of this matters, which is a bit sad. There's a missing opportunity, in my opinion. Because what could happen is, you notice that right now we have this pattern here, and when we finish drawing, it turns into almost like an overlay that's perfect purple, right? And this overlay could contain additional elements, such as these dots or the X's on here, that become visible once we solve it, almost like revealing a puzzle once one is solved. And then, on top of that, where we drew this line, this could become almost like a wall that you cannot penetrate. So you could start drawing additional lines from here. Let's say you wanted to draw something. So let's say we solve it like this. And let's say we this overlay created a new level of puzzle with new elements. Maybe we have dots or something. Now what we did is we have a new starting point here. If you imagine this being a solid wall now, so we could start a puzzle from here. I'm actually clicking, but nothing's happening, right? So we could try to solve this overlay puzzle in this purple shape. Oops. And now, not only would it matter exactly where this purple surface here stops, whether it extends all the way to the top here, because there might be additional elements here, it also matters where we drew our line here, because we kind of shaped the puzzle in our own imagination now, which currently, that just doesn't matter. We can draw this line however we want, which is a bit sad. So for example, if we drew something like this,
We can now see how we have a starting point here, an end point here, which could create an interesting puzzle all around here. And then maybe you even want to cut it off like this. Because now we have a different starting point here. We can do some stuff. We have a different end point here. But maybe we have elements like a dot over here on the left that we still need to satisfy. So this could become really tricky. And it's like these layered meta levels on top of each other, which I think would be really cool. Unfortunately, nothing of that was done. Also, it's currently not really relevant whether you start your line here or whether you start here, because the start and the end is not different. And generally speaking, when there is one way to do it or another way, I think there is almost a missed opportunity to tell the player where they have to start or where they have to end, especially if you can attach some additional meaning to the start or the end to make it more meaningful where you start or end. So, for example, in The Witness, you had to start on these circles and you have to end on these rounded edges, so it's clear what the start and the end is. Now, for example, this is just an idea, it would need to be explored what else is possible, but when you place a start, what you could do is you could place an element at the start or at the end point, like for example a dot right here or right there. And if you imagine there being a dot here, that kind of tells you how you have to solve the outer puzzle here, because you have to pass here at least once. And then it suddenly matters whether you start here or here, because you change the rules of how the outer puzzles have to work. That's just an idea that I think would add a little bit more meaning of where to start and where to end. Something additional to think about. I think there's a little bit more depth that could have been added, because this is really, really short. I think he just had an idea that he wanted to do, and I think for that it's fine. It's good. I really enjoyed it, actually. Bit too easy in the beginning, and then once it started to get interesting, it ended. That's a bit the sad part. And the overall meta level was revealed too early, in my opinion. It was too obvious. So there's also this map here created by Patrick where he shows how he made the game, or at least how the map evolved, which I thought would be really interesting to look at for a minute. Okay, so he started off with these initial puzzles, which are just some shapes. The question is, well, you can see the start shapes and the end shapes, and then there's 3, and then there's 2 with some rules. Okay, interesting. And then he added these additional ones. So he probably just added them, but you can't access them yet because they're in space, or he might have just been able to walk in space at this point in time. But he already knew that he was going to do the stone thing from early on, which I think is probably when he decided that this would be a good idea, because you need at least some ideas of how you can develop the game. You don't just start with, oh, I can draw a line, this is a great game. You need to have some ideas about how more complicated puzzles, right? He had the different colors already. He had a brick texture here, which we don't know about. But this is basically the puzzle that we've seen in the game. That's the same one. And then these we've also seen, most of them. And then he added a bunch more variations of this, what we've seen in the game, basically. There is a red stone here. And there's a yellow stone. He had stones with outlines. And then he had ideas of how you can solve like one of an X, for example. He started with the green stuff. The pink X is the first iteration of a puzzle where you have to position the camera just right in order to see both endpoints of a line. Because, okay, so he knew already exactly what the camera size was. Oh, there's interesting stuff here. Although he had these holy ones here. These you probably can't solve, but this one you can probably solve, and this one as well, I'm assuming. What changes here? Exploring pushable rock puzzles. This one we know from the bottom left part. Adding more puzzles, exploring mechanics. Where are we? Where are we doing things? Up here. Exploring mechanics by drawings. This could be this puzzle where you have to go around once. He still has the bricks though. So he got rid of a bunch of stuff here. Did he put that somewhere else? He kind of started reshaping things down here. So he actually didn't know what the map looked like, of course, in the beginning. He just started drawing out these levels, and then at the end, at some point, he started piecing them together, I'm assuming. What changes here? Rearranging, organizing puzzles in prep for constructing the island. Nice, okay. I'm wondering if he did that while he worked on it, or if he just had a good commit log and then went back to see every step. Here he started to build the island. After an initial introductory section, the island would be open to explore in any direction you want. Removed red rock tile and cut down number of tiles. Yeah. I think that's a good choice, definitely with the mechanics at least that we have in the game. He still has that X puzzle here, which he used for the camera size. This is a further development of the map. Oh, now he started piecing everything into one map, and you can see how it's more like an island really, rather than what we had in the end. Because in the end it's more like a path with paths going off of it. At this point the mechanics allow you to solve 1x1 solo tiles. Then he moved things closer. How much reduction in size is maybe like 10-15% here. It's always good to put things closer together to have less dead space everywhere. Someone playtested the game for the first time at this point. 3 new people playtested the game. He moved a few things around, as you can see, like a bunch of... He still has these red rocks. I didn't read what they were about. Minor adjustments. So he deconstructed everything. Oh, you can see the start. So he deconstructed all the puzzles into their own parts, and then he started building this path here. And then, yeah, you can see how things start becoming like more like one path. And he calls that snake here in that section because it starts becoming one long area that continues up, and you already see the end game here. When did the end game happen? Well, the end game was here already. Did we always have the end game? No, I don't see the end game here. No, the end game came as part, like the end game with the space puzzle, came once he realized that he had a snake thingy and he put it at the head of the snake, it seems. Yeah, you can see it here in the more linear island chapter, and then here the snake appears, the space puzzle appears for the first time. I don't see it anywhere else. I know it's here already, but I don't see it here. So it happened from step 17 to 18. He added that because he probably realized that he wanted to make it more linear, and then he realized he was going to have an endpoint, and then an endpoint is always good for like this great final puzzle, right? So we were somewhere here, yes, so that's the endpoint. Shuffling things around. Nice, this is beautiful to look at. Also because the game's not so big, so you can actually comprehend the whole journey, whereas if you have hundreds of puzzles, well, this has hundreds of puzzles, but not all of them are necessary in my opinion. There's maybe like, well, I don't know exactly how many, but then he made the snake thinner. Then he was like, nope, I don't like it. Let's start again. So he completely, like step 24, he had the snake. Step 25, like, nope. And then step 26 is starting to add it back in. Okay. And now he has this dead point here as well. And the head has evolved a little bit to a more complicated version. Nice, just moving some tiles around. This is so annoying also in my game. My game is also pretty huge. And when you decide, like you can see from this, like if you look here, he just moved this entire area up by 1 to the next step. And then you have to sometimes rearrange entire like parts of the level just because you want to move one thing by 1 tile. Super annoying. Chart of puzzle count over time. Oh, he was once at almost 180. Crazy. The time he put into this is crazy. That's cool. A video showing the level editor tools. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that must have also been a reason why John wanted to probably hire Patrick for the Order of the Sinking Star, because yeah, you want someone who is able to create these level editors and quickly prototype ideas and redesign, iterate on puzzles, right? Makes a lot of sense. It's just in modern engines, this is such a pain to do, like these custom things that should be super simple. But how I made this timeline, gather all the git commits which modified the level data file. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I would have been surprised if he made that on the fly, because you don't even know if in the end you're going to release it. Nice. That's a beautiful, beautiful little journey. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for taking the time. There's a lot of time that went into this. If you've enjoyed Linelith, then be sure to leave a like at the bottom and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I will do more puzzle design studies like this one, where we look at puzzle games and we think about what could be improved and what works well already. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good time. Take care.